as CB has pointed out, the country like India is definitely, China and India are going to feel the pressure. So what are the Pakistan reaction? Because Pakistan is one of the also highly affected, climate affected area, air pollution affected area. So any significant change in the policy in the future? You are from the policy platform. So do you expect any policy changes in Pakistan also vis-a-vis this US election and the pressure that been brought on by the Biden's expected win?
Dr. Salimal had said it well. I mean, this is when it comes to environmental issues and when it comes to climate change, it has the local manifestation is important here, right? So it's and hence the local response is important. So whatever is happening in the US is good and well. And I think earlier I talked about multilateralism and we can collaborate on things, but let's not fool ourselves into thinking that what's happening in Washington, D.C. will somehow have an impact in Islamabad or Delhi or Dhaka. That's not going to happen. We have our own issues. We're going to address them. If the U.S. Embassy is putting up air pollution monitors, that's in Delhi or Islamabad. It's doing it to protect its own citizens, to ensure that when they bring their families in, the air quality that they have is better, and they can be better informed about what's going on. So it can have a side effect, and that can lead for Environmental Protection Department in Islamabad to address these issues, but that's not the priority. And Pakistan has always been seen by the US through a security lens, right? So we've been seen through what's happening in Afghanistan and what's happening in China. In around 1970, when the US wanted to make inroads into Beijing, it contacted Pakistan, and Pakistan served as a pathway whereby US could have a dialogue with China at that time. After that, we had the Soviet Union invade Afghanistan, and it was that particular lens. And even now, as the US tries to leave Afghanistan, Pakistan is going to play a separate role. And here, environment or climate change is definitely not on the agenda. What I will say here is that when it comes to Pakistan and how it moves forward vis-a-vis climate change and environmental protection, China is perhaps going to have a different role here. So I'm going to give it a geopolitical twist here.
That's a geopolitical twist. That's a geopolitical twist.
Yeah. So you have the China-Pakistan economic corridor as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, right? Under that, when it was first conceived, Pakistan went ahead and built a number of coal power plants. And so we, in order to address our energy needs, but as my colleagues have just mentioned, coal is something that's dying off. Can we remain on that front? While China is saying that by 2050 or 2060, they'll go carbon neutral. So here we should be looking towards our partners in China and saying, coal has had its day, let's move towards renewable. And so Pakistan does have a renewable energy policy where Pakistan is going to go have 30% of its energy coming from renewable.
You feel, Imran Saab, that China's kind of a reflected action will kind of push Pakistan a bit on these issues. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So this is, as I said, this is what it's up to us. If we're going to ask China for coal power plants, China will be happy to give us coal power plants. If we ask them for renewables, they'll be happy to give us renewables.
But what you are happy, the big question is what you'll be happy to do. That's the big question. What the government of Pakistan is happy to do. Asking for the coal-fired thermal power plants or renewable plants. That's the important question the answer to be known. What your priority is. Are you still like India is still on the coal fire, trying to do coal fire? You are still on the coal fire, or you are trying to shift towards the renewable?
Okay, so I'll quickly try and answer this. So the coal power sector really gained momentum during the previous Nawaz Sharif regime, because a lot of these discussions around coal happened before the Imran Khan government came in. Imran Khan has come in and he's had a green agenda. So we've had a billion-tree tsunami, which has been a great success.
That's good. That's good.
Campaign. There's a green and clean Pakistan program going on, and there's a renewable energy momentum. So this government really intends to
More
take forward
pro-environment.
agenda. So what my understanding is that there were a couple of new coal power plants that they put on hold in favor of renewables. Only time will tell whether we are able to address these needs in a greener way.
So basically, what I understand, whatever we do between India and Pakistan, when the policy decision comes, the same policy item